Grizzlies fans, welcome into another episode of Talkin Grizz. I'm your host, Kelcey, and I'm joined for the second time by Mr. Jason Jones, the Sacramento Kings writer for The Athletic. Thank you for joining us once again. We are so excited to have you, and it is our last two home games of the regular season. So how's it going?
It's going good. This is like becoming, I think that if we look forward, a little Kings-Grizzlies rivalry will begin to emerge
You think
over the
so?
next few years. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm excited to see about that. So, okay, let's do this. Right now, the Grizzlies are in the 9th spot. That means they're locked into the play-in. The Sacramento Kings their chances are still alive to get that play-in. They've won 5 of their last 6 games, despite not having 3 of their biggest guys in De'Aaron Fox, Harrison Barnes, and Tyrese Halliburton. So this is kind of something that the Grizzlies are very familiar with. Lots of injuries this year for us. We've been in and out, changing rotations and players and getting guys back in. So tell me on the Kings side, who has stepped up to really help this team make that last play-in push?
I think it's been the 3 guys they acquired at the trade deadline have been big. Mo Harkless, DeLon Wright, and Terrence Davis. And Buddy Hield has actually really elevated his game over the last 7 or 8 games, becoming more than just a spot-up shooter. He's been, playmaking, probably getting about 5, 6, 8 assists a night. He almost had a triple-double a couple of games ago. So he's really diversified what he does and been more than just, hey, I'm going to shoot a bunch of threes. He's really generating a lot of offense for them, which they need without pretty much their top 2. The 3 guys they run stuff for the most are all out. So Buddy's really kind of stepped up in that role.
And so with that play-in, how does it work for the Kings? Like, what are they looking for moving forward? They got 3 games left as well?
Yeah. They got to win, and they need the Spurs to not win.
Okay.
As soon as the Spurs win 1 game, it's over for the Kings. But, yeah, so they pretty much need to be great, and they need the Spurs to slip up at some point.
Cool. And the Grizzlies need to beat the Kings in order to move up a few spots. So this actually might start a little rivalry between the teams. Let me go into the back-to-back that is coming up between the Grizzlies and the Kings. Both teams right now score almost 50% of their points in the paint. However, the Kings give up the second most points in the paint in the league. The Grizzlies lead in that category. So who is going to be the defensive stopper for the Kings in this matchup, knowing that they've got 2 big bodies, or 3 big bodies really, from the Grizzlies in Jaren, JV, and Brandon Clark, and Xavier Tillman, I guess?
Mm-hmm. For them, the paint, it'll be Rashawn Holmes. He's their do-all defensive big man. But for the Kings, it really goes back to their perimeter guys that when they get beat off the dribble easily, it doesn't really matter who they have back there. And the problem they've had all season is their perimeter defense has been really shaky. In the point of attack, they've given up a lot of the straight line drives, which is the reason why they've struggled so much defensively. Lately, it's been better with DeLon Wright out there, a more of a veteran guy, long, athletic guy. He's really helped them in that way. But overall this season, their main problem has been not so much, their big men in the paint. It's just because their big men have been under siege because every time they turn around, someone's driving to the paint on them.
Okay, so you think it'll be less JV and Jaren, it'll be more Ja getting to the hoop. And especially now if it's DeLon Wright, who played here only a few seasons ago with a lot of these guys, there's going to be a lot of familiarity between the 2.
Right, yeah. I think it'll be, if you look at the Kings all season, a lot of their point paints have been off of turnovers and transition and just really perimeter, guys like Ja, point guards, 2 guards, wings, is getting straight to the rim on them. So they really haven't been beaten up too badly by post players. I know JV had a good game in Sacramento. I know they gave up some big numbers to Vucevic and Jokic. Well, everyone gets the numbers of Jokic, so I mean, there's no shame in that. But yeah, their primary issue has really been just those perimeter players getting in the paint against them.
Which could be a good thing for the Grizzlies, because I think, as everyone knows who watches the Grizzlies, Ja is really good at getting to the paint. And so if a player is going to let him blow by, he's going to be pretty happy about that. I think on our end, a big concern looking at the Sacramento Kings, at least with the last game, is focusing on Like, yes, the score was 124 to 110. It was a pretty big win, like a margin. But they fouled a lot. The Grizzlies gave up a lot of fouls. They put the Kings at the line a whole lot. And then also pushing the pace. Sacramento Kings play with a very high pace. I think it's gone down a little bit now that De'Aaron Fox hasn't been playing. But I think the Grizzlies want to push the pace on offense, but they also try and slow the team down on the defensive end. And I think the Kings are really good at pushing the pace, which I think will be the biggest concern for us moving forward into these last 2 games.
Oh yeah, because the Kings are going to test you with that because like somebody like Buddy, the idea with him is if you're open, shoot. Doesn't matter what the shot clock, And so if you're not ready, he's not going to catch the ball with 20 on the clock, dribble, survey. If he's open, it's going up, and that's kind of what they preach that we want. We want good open threes. If you're open, you shoot it. If you can get to the rim, you go. They're not trying to milk the clock. I mean, it's hurt them late. I think it maybe hurt them last week at the Spurs because they're down so many bodies. Guys are probably just tired, but they definitely want to try to push it as much as possible.
All right. Well, we'll see how this game goes. Do you have a prediction going into this? Lastly,
I don't. I think they split.
okay.
I mean, I would not be surprised if they split. I mean, I think Sacramento feels like they owe them one. And Sacramento, they had a good success against Memphis last season as well. So I think, it wouldn't surprise me if they split just because the Kings are really trying, they're intent on finishing the season out the right way, not doing what they've done in years past. Okay, we're eliminated. Let's just go ahead and just, whatever. They're really intent on finishing it out. And I think this group they have now has really enjoyed the fact that all these wins they've gotten outside of the OKC games, they're beating teams that have something to play for. And I think they're really enjoying the idea of kind of that feeling of this is the intensity level you get at the end of the year when a team has something to play for. They're not used to that because usually they're not playing for anything either. So a split would not surprise me at all, but I'm going to miss being there. I haven't been to Memphis in a couple of seasons. I haven't had good barbecue in a while, so I need everything to get right so I can get back to one of my favorite travel cities.
All right. Well, here's the deal. I will eat some barbecue for you today, and I will do it in your honor because I appreciate your insight as always. So thank you for coming on, and I'll send you a picture of some ribs I get.
Oh, thank you. I'll go for a run for the ribs that I can't eat so that I can be ready for them when I get back.
Perfect. Jason, thank you so much for coming
on
today. And Grizzlies fans, you can always get more. You can get more all week, every day on grindcitymedia.com.